around the channel for a while, you probably know I've done a lot of upgrades on this 2021 Road Glide Special, probably well over 40. I've kind of lost count. Guys, my name is Rick and this is the HDVIBE channel. In today's video, what I want to talk about today is one of the most expensive upgrades I did on this bike, and that is the Stage 2 upgrade. I did that upgrade over 6,000 miles ago, and what I want to do today is kind of share with you my experiences as well as my initial expectations versus my current perspective on that Stage 2 upgrade. And we'll get into it right after this. So first of all, just to level set, so what the Stage 2 upgrade that I did on this, I mean, obviously I had a Stage 1, which your Stage 1 is going to be your exhaust and a tune and maybe a heavy breather to get more air into that engine. Well, at the time I did the Stage 2 upgrade, I actually just had the stock ventilator breather on here, and as you can see, I've subsequently changed that out to this Wedge Extreme breather that I did a video on that. So I'll actually have a link to that video if you're interested in learning more about how that goes on. Since I've done that Stage 2 upgrade, I've also changed out the head pipe. I put a TAP Performance 212 decatted head pipe on this. And I kind of switched my slip-ons between the Reinhardt DBX 45s and the TAP Performance 4.5 BAM sticks with the zombie baffles. And a little bit later in the video, I'll kind of tell you why I switch in between those. That Stage 2 upgrade that I did on this, in addition to that Stage 1 we talked about, I put the Screaming Eagle 447 cam in. I had to get a tuner. I did the cam plate, the Screaming Eagle Harley Davidson cam plate. I also did the high flow oil pump on there, even though I probably didn't have to do that. But while they were in there, I went ahead and had them change that out. New tappets that were put in there, and then a few other parts that obviously go along with the Stage 2 upgrade. But the main thing is the cam and the tune. In addition to that, I've also run some auto-tune sessions, and I have videos kind of on all of that stuff. If you want to go back to the Road Glide Special playlist, you can kind of go back and see those. So initially I was excited about putting a Stage 2 upgrade on, but I also had some concerns in terms of kind of reliability, how is it going to impact my fuel economy, but I also knew I was probably going to get some nice, good performance out of it. As I said, I had some concerns, but I went ahead and did it anyway. And the cost all in, I went and did a video on that, kind of breaking down all the components and the cost, so you can kind of go back and see that. But you're in that probably, if you don't have to get your tuner, I don't know, $2,500 or so, and you got some labor. I had my Harley Davidson dealership do it, and the reason I had them do it was because the bike was still under warranty. I had an extended warranty, so that's why I had them do the work. And I really didn't feel comfortable doing engine work. I do a lot of other stuff on this bike, but I didn't feel comfortable with that. So what has my experience been over the 6,000 miles or so that I've ridden with this Stage 2 upgrade? So, you know, I knew I was going to get some better performance out of the bike, more torque and more horsepower. Again, I can only tell you what my butt dyno tells me, but it is much improved over the stock 114. And honestly, I think now with this Stage 2 upgrade on the 114, it probably runs as well, if not better, from a torque and horsepower than probably my 117s that I have on the two Street Glides with the Stage 1 tune and exhaust and air filters on those. So, you know, very, very pleased with the performance. The other thing I will say is that torque. Again, this is the torque cam. They do have the 462, which is the Harley Davidson Power Cam Screaming Eagle. I kind of went with the torque cam because I wanted that sort of immediate power when you twist the throttle in terms of torque. So that has delivered, no question. I mean, I can go in just about any gear, even in 6th gear, and just roll on the throttle. I don't have to downshift if I'm passing, and I get very good power and immediate response from that throttle. Now, having said that, I have run some auto-tune sessions, and primarily because since I did the Stage 2 upgrade, again, I changed out the breather, and I also changed out the head pipe to the catless head pipe. So I did run some auto-tune sessions, and what I noticed initially when I got the Stage 2 put on there is my fuel economy kind of dropped a little bit. But again, I tend to ride higher RPMs. I don't just kind of float along at under 3,000. Even on the highway, I like to be between 3,000 and 4,000 RPMs. And when I'm riding twisty back roads like I did on my recent trip, I'll be running in that 3,500 to maybe all the way up to 5,000 RPM. So initially, I found that my fuel economy probably had dropped off just a little bit, and I was probably averaging between 38 and 40 miles per gallon when I first got this. However, by comparison, when I checked my fuel economy on the two 117s that I have, the 2021 and the 2023 Street Glide CVO and ST, my fuel economy was always running right in that 38 to 40 miles per gallon on those bikes as well. So I wasn't too overly concerned from that perspective. As I have ridden this bike more and I've done that auto-tune session, on my latest trip, a combination of riding twisty back roads in Arkansas, running pretty high RPMs, like I said, probably 3,000, between 3,000 and 5,000 RPMs, depending on where I was running, I was filling up and averaging between 45 and 47 miles per gallon with this Stage 2 upgrade on this bike, which from my perspective, that's actually better than the stated fuel economy that Harley Davidson says that you would get on the stock engines, what I think they say is about 42 or 43 miles per gallon. One of the concerns I had when I first got the Stage 2 upgrade was, or when I was thinking about it was, is it going to be reliable for the long term? So now, again, I've got 6,000 miles on this. I've had, since I've had that, I've gotten the 10,000 mile service on it. It will be coming up for its 15,000 mile service here pretty soon. So from a reliability standpoint, the bike has really checked out great. I'm not burning any additional oil. I don't think I'm getting much blow by and oil coming up back through the breather. I haven't really checked it since I put this Wedge Extreme on here, but I will say when I changed from the stock ventilator to this, there wasn't a whole lot of oil up in that breather, and it wasn't really oiled up that much. So I don't think I'm getting much blow by. And again, that all depends on, are you setting your oil levels correctly? But again, with that Stage 2, you're pumping a lot more power through there. You're getting more air, you're getting more fuel in there, and that engine is pumping harder with that Stage 2 upgrade. And it's doing fine. Reliability wise, like I said, I ride highways, I commute to work, I ride it on long rides, I ride it on highway long rides, I've ridden twisty back roads, and it has performed flawlessly. I've had no issues with the bike whatsoever. So now, one thing that I didn't expect, and I really experienced this more so once I changed the head pipe out to the decatted head pipe. You may have seen some videos I compared the DBX 45 slip-ons to the Tab Performance 4.5 BAM sticks with the zombie baffles, and in those videos it was pretty clear, and I think it came through in that video, that the 4.5 BAM sticks with the zombie baffles, again with the stock head pipe, was definitely louder when you got on the throttle with the Stage 2 than the DBX 45. When I changed out the head pipe, I did notice the bike is louder. It's definitely louder than the Stage 1 117s. What I found was, especially on long trips, the BAM sticks with the zombie baffle is almost too droning from my perspective on long trips. So on my last trip, what I actually did was I put the Reinhardt DBX 45s on here, and I ran with that, and it was fine. Now, I will tell you, people that are behind me and people that hear the bike coming down the road, even with the DBX 45s or the Tab Performance with the BAM sticks, slip-ons, will say the bike is loud. No issues from a reliability standpoint in the least. So what I have found is, my initial expectation was that I would definitely get more power and more torque. Check the box on that. I was concerned about fuel economy. However, what I found is fuel economy actually is, right now, is better than what the stated fuel economy that Harley Davidson says this bike would have stock. So that's a check. That's a pleasant surprise. It sounds great, but again, it does get a little louder with that cam, and part of that is I have changed out that head pipe, so I have a freer flowing head pipe. It is louder, but it sounds really, really good. You kind of get that da-dum, 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 da-dum. Now again, it's not as good as, say, a higher lift cam, but you definitely can tell this bike sounds different than a stock bike because it does have that cam. Cost, obviously there was an investment on my part. You know, whatever, say $2,500 to $3,000 all in. I probably didn't have to spend that much if I would have excluded a few of the parts like the cam plate and the oil pump. But for me, that money invested is going to be a long term. I don't plan on changing that cam out to any other cam because I don't really feel there's a reason, because it's more than enough power for what I needed to do. And again, I'm not looking for, and I don't even have dyno sheets on it because to me it doesn't really matter. I don't know how much torque it has. I don't know how much power it has. I know what Harley Davidson says they will do with the Stage 2, but every bike's a little bit different. And like I said, I did the initial base map load that the Harley Davidson Master Tech put on it when they put the cam on it. I've done some auto tune sessions on it, so it's really tuned, I think, pretty well for my needs. And again, I ride it all kinds of conditions, all kinds of roads, short trips, long trips, windy roads, highway roads, local roads, commuting, stop and go traffic. So it has performed well. So for me, overall, after 6,000 miles, I would definitely say this has checked all the boxes. My initial intrepidation or concerns about any of those things like mileage and the like, reliability, have just been thrown out the window, and I've had no issues. So guys, leave some comments down below. I know some of the comments are going to say probably, why did you put a Harley Davidson Screaming Eagle cam in it? And I get it. There's much better ones. There's higher lift cams. You can get more power out of this if you dyno tune it. But for me, that just wasn't what I wanted to do. But I know a lot of people do it, and that's great. Also, if you've done a Stage 2 upgrade or you're thinking about a Stage 2 upgrade, put some comments down below as well on that. And if you want to find out everything that I did to this bike, again, go back and watch the video I did, a couple videos on the Stage 2 upgrade. I'll actually link it down in the description and try to pop it right up here for you so you can go back and check that one out after you finish this up. So guys, if you got some value out of this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also consider sharing this with your friends, so like-minded individuals who might be interested in understanding kind of the 6,000 or a longer term perspective on a Stage 2 upgrade using Harley Davidson parts can see this video and get at least my perspective on it, and hopefully some other perspective based upon comments down in the comments section. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that button right down here. That really helps out the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, leave a comment down below saying I subscribe so I can personally reach out and thank you for supporting the channel. And when you do subscribe for the first time, hit that bell icon and select all so you get notified every time I do put out new content. Guys, I have over 250 videos on tips, tricks, rides, reviews, installs on these Harley Davidson touring motorcycles, as well as a motorcycle skills playlist. So there's bound to be something that you'll learn about a product, you'll learn about maybe an upgrade, you may get a discount code, you may find a way to get a lower cost product that does the same thing on your bike. So I try to share all of that information and provide value for you. And again, all these videos are free. I don't have any Patreon. I don't charge you for anything. A lot of these videos are step-by-step installs or step-by-step walking through, for instance, what a Stage 2 upgrade is and what you can expect. So guys, with that, I want to leave you with this thought. Life is short. Get out and ride the bike. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.